Good evening, everyone, or good morning if you happen to be on the other side of the world from me. This is our second webinar of the day. The first one was from Miriam, who is one of our photo editors at OG. If you saw that, I hope you enjoyed it. And now you are treated to a webinar by everyone's favorite OG founder, Michael. Yay, he's here. So you get to hear an obligatory bio reading, which I will try to make exciting. All right, here we go. In case, I'm doing the short one. Don't worry. We don't have time for the long one. No time. So Michael is a wildlife photographer and conservationist. He's written 37 books about the ocean. His accolades include winning 68 international photographic awards, and he was named as one of the world's most influential nature photographers by Outdoor Photographer. Michael's essays and pictures have been published in BBC Wildlife, Geo, National Geographic, the Smithsonian, Nature, OG of course, Nature Focus, Times, and Discovery. He's won 5 awards from the world's most prestigious NHM Wildlife Photographer of the Year award competition. He's won the underwater category twice. Then in 2012 and 2020, he was nominated as judge for this competition. Michael is the founder of Asian Geographic, Elysium Epic, and Ocean Geographic and Ocean Environment, which is a charity organization registered with Environment Australia. Since 2010, Michael's been the project director of the Elysium Epic expeditions. From the Antarctic in 2010 to the Arctic in 2015 and the Coral Triangle in 2018. He brought over 60 team members comprised of the world's best image makers and scientists and tasked them with documenting the flora and fauna of these regions with the goal of creating a climate change index. His most recent work was in September of 2018 when he led the team of 49 using 3 vessels for an expedition across the heart of the Coral Triangle for a first ever baseline survey of the biomass of corals and fishes in the region. Woo! Okay, I'm gonna need a drink of water. My goodness. Anyway, I'm sure you probably all already knew that, but in case you didn't, now you do. So welcome to your own Zoom session, Michael. Are you excited?
All right. Yeah, very, very,
Okay,
very.
good.
Apart from lack of sleep, but anyway.
You'll be fine. Off to the races.
I'm going to jump straight into it, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Alex, for the introductions. I'm going to go straight into it, into a session called Compete to Win. So I'm going to share my screen with you and then go into my PowerPoint. Then I'm going to go into from beginning slideshows. Okay. To win. Okay. For the sake of discussions, I'm going to cover only 2 of this, so to speak, best wildlife photography competition in the world, especially for underwater photographer. I've acknowledged the underwater photography competition organized by Dr. Alex Mastert. And then there's Nature's Best, which is if you win the Nature's Best, one of the winner, your pictures get exhibited in the Smithsonian. But today I'm going to talk to you about the Natural History Museum Wildlife Photographer of the Year competition, which is now this year is the 56th years. And Ocean Geographic Pictures of the Year, we are in our 8th year now. So moving on, let's give you an idea of the numbers in these 2 competitions. The Natural History Museum Wildlife Photographer of the Year, this year, they have about 46,000, there's a number there is wrong, it's not 450, it's 46,000 entries. Then narrowed down to 4,500 on the first round of judging, and then down to 1,000, and then down to 100 as all the finalists that being exhibited in the exhibition. For Ocean Geographic Pictures of the Year, last year we get about 8,000 entries. On the first round of judging, goes down to 1,000. And then 100 be selected in the final round as either winner, runner-up, or the highly commended pictures. Those are the numbers we are looking at the moment. There's a lot of pictures in these 2 competitions. Now, Compete to Win is something that we have to focus on because we're getting a lot of numbers. So what do we look at? So imagine that in a final round of judging, the judges are normally flown to one room, and then you're sitting down there and you look at the pictures projected on a big screen. That picture have to punch up to the judges. Wow, this is a good pictures. You need to give the first impressions. But in the preliminary round, the first round or second round, the judges will be looking at between, if it's for the Natural History Museum, looking at 20,000 pictures or 40,000 pictures, or for Ocean Geographic, you're looking at about a couple of thousand pictures. So imagine, if you look at a computer, it's very, very easy to get bored with so many pictures. If they're all good pictures, don't get me wrong, they're all great, fantastic pictures. But if you see the same pictures all the time, after the first 5 minutes, unless one stand up to you, you will delete and move on to the next one. So the wow factor is very, very important. Then next thing you look at is a new pictures, never seen before pictures. So something can be of animal that have never been seen before, or photographed in a way that have never been photographed before. It's very, very important. So if that immediately grab the attention of the judge. So this is something new I've not seen before. Let's keep that first. So make sure that we put the pictures in, and we're selecting a picture, even they may not be perfect. But if it's something very new, you stand a chance. Now, this one, a lot of people don't pay attention to this, especially in our competition and in the NHM competition. For example, you see this year, winner is a black water picture. Oh, that I can do better than that. Let me put another one in. It's chances that next round of judges, when they go out there, they be told to select something new, something they don't want the same type of pictures again. So, for example, like polar bears or humpback whales. I mean, you may think that your picture is great. Of course, it's great. But if the last few years winner is a humpback whales, automatically when you see a humpback whale picture, the judges would just say it's good, but I don't think I want to consider this as a winner for this year. You'll just remove it. So if you see a winning picture this year, you say of a lionfish, for example, don't put in a lionfish again, because you know that you will not be selected, you will not be considered, because not that it's not a good picture, but because every competition want new pictures to excite the viewer, because they're going around the world, on exhibitions, on video, Zoom, etc. So you want new pictures. So take the time to view the last few years winner. For Ocean Geographic, you can go to the website, you can see the last 6-7 years winners, and you can see whether you want to, what kind of picture you should avoid. And again, for the National History Museum, you can go to the website again and look at the winners for the last few years. Categories and rules. This is something that people just browse through and don't really pay attention to it. But a few things you have to look at, very important, is number one, the categories. You have to read and read it again. Even at Natural History Museum judging this year, there's so many people that put in the pictures in the wrong category. I will just define, say, these are a couple of categories here in the Wildlife Photographers of the Year 2020. For example, animal portrait. Is it just a portrait of animal, or they say the definition is the portrait should reveal the personality of an individual or intimate group of animals in a thought-provoking or memorable way. So when you look at your pictures, when you're selecting your pictures for the category, look at the definition. Does your picture fall within the definition of the category? So animals in their environment, for example, say evoking atmosphere and a sense of place, with the habitat as a major element of the picture, to convey how an animal is an integral part of the environment. So when you look at a picture, look at the definition again, say, okay, is this the picture to go in? Does it represent the environment? Now, behavior is something that we have is common in both competitions in the Natural History Museum and Ocean Geographic Pictures of the Year. So behavior. When I say behavior, other animals or behavior mammals, you look at it again. So if there's a category of mammals, you put a mammals inside mammals category. You don't put into behavior animals category, because if you put a mammals in the animals category, the judge will say this should be in the mammals category and not in this category. Or behavior animals is that it should be in the, put a fish in there, that should be in a fish category. So they would like to give more, so to speak, the other animals a better winning chance here. So they look at that. Whereas in the Natural History Museum competition, the judges do move the pictures to other category, but not for Ocean Geographic, because every category in Ocean Geographic is different judges. So pay attention to that, all right? So in behavior, it's revealing the most interesting or memorable behavior of any or multiple of small animals without backbones, that's for invertebrates, whether on land, in the air, or in the water. So they must be doing something, behavior. Sleeping by itself is a behavior, but it's not that interesting behavior. If they are feeding, if they are mating, those are very interesting behavior. So read the categories, read it again, especially after you have chosen a picture. Now, save the best picture for the best com. There's a lot of tendency these days to post a picture on Facebook or on social media, and also to enter as many competitions as possible. So think in the mind of the judge. If the judge have seen your picture everywhere, it's no longer new to him or her. So you want to save a picture, keep it. I know it's difficult, but keep it and save it for the one or two competition you wish to enter. Don't enter every competition, because if it's been entered before, you'll never be considered again for another competition, especially for the Natural History Museum. So save the best picture and keep it until after you enter the competition. Think quality, compete among some of the best competition, all right? Also pay attention to the post-edit parameters. How much can you edit? I know a lot of competition are lucky to remove backscatters, but for Ocean Geographic and for the Natural History Museum, you cannot remove anything, you cannot add anything. Instead of removing the backscatter, what you can do is to do a lever and darken the background, and hopefully most of the backscatter goes. It's okay to have a few bits of backscatter around. It's okay, because the judges understand you have not removed it. And we had this discussion recently, even after we selected all the winners for this year. Will we remove the backscatter or ask the photographer to remove backscatter when they actually print it? The answer is no, it is pure. So it stays there. If you're a winner, your backscatter will be seen because it's the way it was shot. Also beware of saturation. Don't oversaturate, because once it looks too punchy, it doesn't look real. Okay. Cropping is allowed in both competitions. You're allowed to crop, but if you're cropping to 20% of your frame, then of course the judge will say that's too much, right? Like we crop 25%, 30%, and even up to 50%, sometimes we will let it go, because if it's an interesting picture, we'll let it go. There's a rule saying up to 25%, but if you feel that it's very special, you have to crop to 50%, just do it and explain that in your submission to the judges. Explain that in the caption. This picture is cropped to 50% because why? Explain that in the captions. Moving on. Now, here's a couple of insider tips if you want to win either of the competitions. There are categories that attract a lot of entries. There are categories that attract very few entries. So the black and white is interesting, because you think a lot of people enter black and white. Black and white attract very few entries. So if you want to go for a win, focus on black and white. And for Ocean Geographic, also got a color print category because it takes more efforts to enter the category. There's less entries in there. So the most competed category in both competitions always the portfolio, because everybody say it doesn't qualify as a behavior. Let's put inside portfolio. In portraits. Portrait is the most competed category for both competitions. So think about it. Okay, you want to put in that category, or you want to put this in another category. So choose the category that's best for you. You just want to win. Another interesting category in both competitions, the photo story or essay as Ocean Geographic, a photo story or photojournalism in the Natural History Museum competition. They have a single picture photo story or a 6 pictures photo stories, and we have 10 picture photo stories. That categories have very few entries. So get in those categories and tell your story behind that, and that is something that you can pick on for next year. Okay. Now the judging process, how it actually goes. Not many competitors pay attention to who are the judges. For Ocean Geographic, all the judges are photographers or scientists. They know the subject very well. And for the Natural History Museum, there's usually between 5 to 7 judges, and they have a head judge. For underwater submission in WPY, there's only one judge that is a underwater photographer. The other few can be maybe a scientist, maybe a topside terrestrial wildlife photographer. And for the single person as a underwater photographer, he or she does have some influence to the other judges. He or she have to explain to the other judges what the picture is all about, how it's taken. So, for example, the underwater photographer say he or she specializes in whales. So there's pro and con to that. You may think, okay, I should put in a lot of whale pictures. But if he or she is a whale photographer, you'll be judged by his or her standards, right? So it's pro and con to that. But if that judge is just a scientist in whales and take very few pictures, then maybe your picture will impress the judge. So pay attention to the judge. For Ocean Geographic, all the judges, you know them. You can see the page on the website who they are, and you know what they like, what they don't like, and so you know what impress them. So pay attention to the judges and then compete accordingly and put in the pictures accordingly to impress those judges. Now the final round. If you are selected to go into the final round, in my opinion, you're already a winner. Because imagine the Natural History Museum has got 7,000 entries. You're in the final round, you'll probably be the last 4,000 in the final round. And in Ocean Geographic, you're in the final round, you'll be probably in the final 1,000 or less. So you're already a winner. Here is interesting in your submission of your high-res file. It should be the exact replica of your submission in JPEG. So your high-res file is the TIFF, make sure it's the same. Don't do any alteration at all because they will compare. And your high-res file should have all the metadata intact, as in the camera is shot. You do not, save it in another pic format. Make sure the original process is exactly the same picture as a high-res file. Your raw file, make sure you submit it as well. I know sometimes when they call for high-res file and raw file, and they give you a very short time to submit. If you are traveling, especially photographer, and you're traveling during that time, travel with all your submission with you. So no matter wherever you are, anywhere in the world, you still can submit your high-res file and raw file. I carry them with me if I'm competing. Okay, that's very important. At this time, if you feel that you make an alteration that is out of that guideline, it's a time to decide whether you want to submit the raw file or not, or the high-res file. This is the time to back out if you want to, because you give, if you make a lot of alteration to it, or that you feel that's not within a guideline, you leave a bad impression of yourself to this set of judges. So think about it. You're already a winner, okay? You decide to submit or not to submit. We know people that at this stage have backed out because they feel that they have made too much alteration to the original file, okay? Captions here, when you submit your raw your final round, your raw file and high-res file, here we ask for captions for both the competition. Write as much as possible you can. I know it takes time, but your caption can convince the judges to move you to the next, into the final selections. Explain how the picture is taken and when and what you have to do to take that picture. And at this time, you have to disclose if bait were used, or if the animal is wild or tame or semi-tame, etc. Disclose it, because at this point, if it's a great picture, sometimes we may decide to overlook certain criteria because it's a great picture. But it's better disclosed than to be not disclosed, right? And also, it's important that in both competition, we say that pictures cannot have win any other competition before. So there are many instances. In fact, the recent one is one have won the overall winner, and then we finished judging, we left, and come back 1 week later, the organizer came back to us and say, this picture won a competition 6 months ago, 1 year ago, and it be disqualified. So disclose it. You have won a competition. Usually we're allowed minor competition, usually okay, but if it's a major competition, then you have no reason to be submitting the picture in either of this competition. Disclosure is very important, and the caption is very important as well. Very important also in a submission, remove any watermark. If the judges see any watermarks, they'll just move on to the next picture, because we do want to know who you are. And this is a common mistake, because when you edit your picture, or even you have copyright embedded in your camera, your name is in the file info. And sometimes to read metadata, the judges or the organizer have to go into the back end and read your file info. If your copyright is there, we know who you are, and we don't like it. We don't want to know who you are. So, and the organizer or the editor may remove your entries if they see your name in there. He or she would not remove it for you. It's your job to remove your own copyright from the file info. So pay attention to that in a submission. So for sure, I know there are quite a few of us, we look into that and we remove it every day. You won't be competing. You just remove the picture, because once we know who you are, it's not fair to the other entries. So here I'm going to share with you very quickly some of my winning pictures through the years, very, very quickly. And if you have any question you can ask me later. Following the 3 factor I told you early on, yeah, they have the wow factor, the new pictures, never seen before pictures, and I avoided previous winner in those competitions I entered. So here's the first one. This one is actually a winner in the Natural History Museum competition in 1999. It was my first win. It was shot on film, and those days, you only have 36 frames. It's very hard to capture such pictures. And I got this this squid in blue. It was actually shot on the evening of 1999, 31st December. It was very special to me. So I put it in, and I won an award. Those days, it's only a runner-up at the time. And this is the sardine run in 2004 when I first shot it. I needed a win in the World Underwater Pictures competition. And so at that time, there wasn't any published picture of a gannet grabbing a fish during a sardine run. So I asked Jennifer and David to say, tell me a picture that has not been published before. And they told me, you have to get a picture of a gannet grabbing a fish in a bait ball. I was very lucky, I got it, and I put it into the World Underwater Pictures Festival in black and white, because I know at that time is the least competed category, and in black and white. So I put it in, and that's how I got the award. Now this one is interesting. It is a picture of a mimic octopus. There's controversial in this picture because when I put it in for the Natural History Museum competition in the underwater category, the judges asked me, he said, did you manipulate this picture? Did you throw the octopus up in the water column and let it fall? So I say, okay, I did not, because this octopus was swimming through blue water. But then they say, okay, we will ask an expert. So they asked a octopus expert, Mark Norman, to look at this picture and determine whether this picture has been manipulated. And he came back and said no, because this octopus was mimicking a feather stars, and the symmetry of the arm is almost perfect. So he actually swam on his own to mimic a feather star or crinoid. So that one I got a win for the underwater category in 2006. So at the time, no picture like this was ever published or been seen. I kept it for a long while to enter this picture. This again is not a new picture. In 2008, that was when the phenomena of these hundreds and thousands of mantas was congregating in Hanifaru. So I was there on the first or second years when it happened, and I grabbed a shot. It's not a perfect picture. It's not, the water is not clear, and it's a bit soft in all the edges. And you can even see backscatter on the top. But it was new. It was very new at the time, because they have not been seen before, this kind of concentration. I put it in, and it got me an award. So take new pictures, take never seen before pictures. And again, this is a Wonderpus. It was dancing in water. Actually, this shot is shot in Bali in the late afternoon. At the time, nobody have seen in 2010. There's not many pictures of Wonderpus. A lot of Wonderpus were on the sand. So when I got this guy dancing in mid-water, I say, okay, this is a new picture, never seen before. It's special. I'm going to put it in. And that's how it won in the category. Now, this is way back in this three Mandarin Fish orgy, where I got one female and two males, is captured way back in 1998. So actually, this information was shared to me by Bert, a local dive guide, and he took me diving in the evening to capture Mandarin fish mating, and was very lucky. So you have to be prepared to be there, but I was lucky to be the first one who shot a three Mandarin fish mating, and I've never seen this again. So again, it's very special. So look for new picture, look for new subject when you shoot. Blackwater. I shot this in Blackwater in 2007 in an expedition with Emery Christoph in the south of the Philippines in the night. At the time, there's no Blackwater category doesn't exist then. This guy is very tiny. He's probably about half a centimeters, and he came floating past, and he hung in it for a split of a second. And at the time in 2007, we were talking about a camera that is only shooting at 5 megapixel camera. And he was just in front of my lens, so I was able to capture this shot. It was special because it was new. It was a fish, that pink color fish. Usually you see this fish is either yellow or gray or blue, but at the time, only one of this exists in this color. It was a real juvenile taken in black waters, in the black water situations. Now the clownfish, this is used as a feeler for my portfolio of 10. So probably on its own, this clownfish would not have won an award, but I needed a feeler to show my skill in a portfolio. So when you submit for a portfolio, you can choose a thematic portfolio of the same theme, for example, all mackerel, or all over and under, or all big animals. But if you have a portfolio that show your range of skills, from macro to wide angle to animals to behavior, then you're most likely to impress the judges better in a portfolio situation. So this was actually one of my feelers to make my portfolio of 10. Now this one is special because it shot in 2010 or 11. It was the biggest bait ball of the day, and I just happened to be there, and there was 4 or 5 Brutus whale charging through the bait ball, and we have 9 hours with Indian bait balls. I've got multiple shots of whales in this situation, and I chose this one to enter because he's just. I missed the earlier shot of the whale, taking a cut off the bait ball, but I got this just after the second after he got it. But it showed the dynamic of the surface water and the bait ball beneath. So this one was a big win in 2011, I believe. This one is special. I think it's been used many times before. Again, it was very fast. And here we have got a behavior situation with the bronze whaler and a gannet. So when judges look at this and say, okay, there's a story, and that's how you grab the attention of the judges. Okay, this one is won the Nature Best just a few years ago. I planned for this picture. You do well with Nature's Best. You probably will not do well in Natural History Museum competition at all because there was bait in the water. Here I've disclosed there was bait in the water. That's how we got this shark to come to the surface. So pay attention to the guideline and the rules. Some competition are lucky to do that as long as you disclose it, and some don't. So I was very lucky with Nature Best. They don't mind. So I got this shot as one of the winner. This one got. I think 2015, you won the underwater category for Natural History Museum, and actually I owe this win to Maddie Smith. He came to my barbecue and he said, "Have you put in the pictures yet? It's 1 hour to go before entry close." And actually, this particular picture wasn't really edited at all. So that 1 hour, I went to look at some of my old pictures, and I found this in the trash bin or unrecorded bin, and I just took it out, just do a bit of touch up and put it in, and they won the category. So sometimes what I'm trying to get at is the pictures that the files that you shoot, don't throw them away, don't discard them. When you go back to look at them a few years later, you may find something that's great that you can use it for competition or use it for your portfolio. So moving on very quickly, I'll show you quickly last year winner. From 2019. Don't forget, this is the competition you're judged by very well respected underwater photographers and scientists. And here is, it's got 17 unique category. I'm going to go through this very, very quickly. One overall winner, which is the photographer of the competition, the prestige and recognitions, and all winner of category will get Ocean Geographic photographer pin. So I go over very quickly all the categories. I just looked at this. So, for example, Emery Christoph portrait category, which I mentioned earlier on, is the most competed category. The picture should feature the unique character or spirit of the marine animals, as well as express a sense of tenderness and intimacy. So it's no longer just a portrait. The animal has have an expression, and then you push the boundary of a standard portraiture. So look for that. And then you have the duck purine animal behavior. So picture must have the wow factor, instantly capture attention. It may be a rare or fascinating behavior. Simply sitting, starting, or sleeping is not good enough. While it is essential to show genuine behavior, we're also looking for images of special interest, never seen before, capture with aesthetic appeal and drama. Any other animal but fish. So go to the website of Ocean Geographic Pictures of the Year. All the categories are very well defined in there. There is all these various category. I'm just going to go to this quickly. The David Dublé portfolio is renamed as Emerging Master. Give it a better club, the title. And then the Stephen Fring is changed to Human and Ocean. So your picture should relate between a human person, a diver, and the ocean. There must be a relation, not just a human itself, not the ocean, but human related to ocean. So they're really defined now. And then we'll have got the new category is Brian Scary Award for Outstanding Achievement. There's open water. Any pictures taken in open water or in the pelagic zone of different animals, can be critters, can be invertebrates, can be whales. All right, so it's shot in open water. That's a new category. Black water was put in last year. There's Dr. William Hamner Award for Outstanding Achievement, pictures taken in black and blue water. Another new category is we changed Alex Master Award to New Emerging Photographers of the Year. Go in there and read what is the definition of New Emerging Photographer of the Year. So it's very interesting. This one allows you to put in 3 pictures as a portfolio for this category. It's in there. Just go and look at it. I'm just going to go to this category very, very quickly. There you go. Matthew Mio and I is going to organize a new workshop next few weeks to help you guys. If we're all stuck at home now, we're going to have a workshop to talk about. It's a module of underwater workshop that you can actually do it from home. And these are the modules we're going to cover: art of composition, art of light, art of seascape, digital workflow from raw to published image, from using Lightroom and Photoshop, and how to manage asset management, shooting fishes, working with model, and conservation photography. We're still working out the details for this next couple of days. We'll publish that in the next couple of weeks once we have it ready. And at the end of the course, we want you to have at least 10 publishable images. And of course, you can buy our book. The book is on special now. Right now, I think it's about $25 per postage included. So then I'm going to end this session here now. If you have any questions, you can put in a question right now.
Good,
Alexa,
good. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I'm here. Thanks for that. Yeah, we have 2 questions. So the first one is coming from Celia, and she wants to know, how important is submitting a caption in the initial round? Some competitions list this as optional.
In my opinion, yes, if you have time to put in just one simple caption, but really we don't have time to read it, for me at least, because we're dealing with thousands of pictures. But if you think you have improved the chance, put in a single line in the captions, or even put it in the file name itself, and then we can say, oh, this is special. She took it in this situation, it must be special. We look at it. So yes, it helps, but if you're in the final, then you can spend more time investing time into an extended caption. Yes.
All right, thanks for that. Okay, and our next question comes from Fabrice. Wants to know, can you enter an image that has previously won a major competition as part of a portfolio? And what about finalists?
I guess this is referring to Ocean Geographic Pictures of the Year competition. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. I'm not a judge for the category. David Dublé is the judge. That again, you end of the day, if you're in a final, say they probably in the final you have to look at 20 portfolios or 15 portfolios in the final. Then he'll debate, okay, is this going to be high commanded? Is this going to be a winner? Is this going to be a runner-up? So if your picture has been seen before, you actually, you have of less value to that. So you decide, you can. But if you think that you have a very strong portfolio to win as a winner, then maybe not. So it's entirely up to you to do that, right? You can, theoretically you can.
All right. And we have one more. This one comes from Claudio. He goes, my question would be on the Wildlife Photographer of the Year. What is the role and weight of the chair of the jury in deciding the final images?
Can you hear that again, please?
Sure. So for WPY, what is the role and the weight of the chair of the jury in deciding the final images? So yeah, okay. How much of a role does the chair play?
This is behind the scene thing, but I will share it anyway. So for example, there is 6 in a panel, 5 judges and 1 chair. That's a good number. So for example, if there's 5 judges, so you have to final round, you must have 3, 4, and sorry, in every category for the category win, you must have at least 3, and then the other for the other 2, the chair usually asks why you don't think they should win. We don't have to give a reason if we don't want to, but we normally do. A couple of times I've abstained because I don't feel that I want to give a reason. But for the overall winner, so for example, there's again 5 judges and 1 chair. The chair will determine and give an instruction at the beginning and say, in her view, because it's chosen out of the 14 category, you have 14 pictures competing for the overall winner. And the chair will normally say, okay, this is my view, which are the stronger picture. Basically, she'll try to influence the judges. These few pictures should not be considered as the overall winner, and which one should be considered. And then the voting comes, and the deliberation can last for a day or a few hours, depends, because it's a very important category, important title, and also it's a very prestigious title. If there is they won't, because it's 5, and if the final pictures that's picked by say 3 out of 5 judges. And if she doesn't agree, she actually has a double vote to influence a win. But normally she or she don't, because she wants the decision to be made by the panel of 5 judges. Then she ask them, go and rethink again, go and have a coffee and come back, and then deliberate again, and then it goes on and on. So in most instances, the chair do not have to come in and cast his or her final vote, because at this level of judging, you find that the judges not necessarily polite, but there's enough professionalism to determine who should be. It's very clear who should be the overall winner at that stage. Answer the questions?
I think so. I think so. And I think currently that's it. I don't think we've got any other questions. I checked on Facebook as well, so I think we're good. I think everyone was able to get into Zoom.
For Pictures of the Year competition is still open. We have 2 more days. You don't have to send in entries by then. All you have to do is to register by 15th of April. You have until the 20th to send in the entries. That give you 5 more days to prepare your entry. I think that's fair, isn't it?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we're good. As long as you register.
It's not like anyone's traveling right now, so I think it's okay.
Okay, you want to introduce our special guest tomorrow?
Yes. So tomorrow, if people are around, please attend. If you're not around, clear your schedule and attend anyway. Dr. Sylvia Earle is going to be joining us tomorrow. Actually, her and her wonderful daughter, Liz Taylor, who owns DOER in California, Deep Ocean Exploration and Research, a submarine building company. They're both going to be with us talking about deep sea exploration and tech, which is going to be amazing. So in less than 24 hours, get it on your calendars. I'm going to move over so you can see it. On the 13th of April at 9 p.m. Eastern time, or at 9 a.m. Singapore time on the 14th, wherever you happen to be. Join us in the same place. We'll be doing it on Ocean Geographic Facebook page live and on Zoom. We'll put the link up when we have it ready. You can join us in the same format to hear from Dr. Sylvia Earle and Liz Taylor, which is going to be fabulous, not to be missed. So yeah.
All right.
I think that
Thank
about
you, Alex.
covers it.
Thank you, Alex, for this. Thank you, everyone, for coming in.
Thank you, Michael.
And good
yeah,
day and good
everyone
night.
have a good, yes, have a good one. We'll talk more soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, bye.